So the first rule is not to lose what we have at the time of the patient visit. So we also always have to look at this defect with the soft tissue that we meet above this defect at the time of the first visit. So the baseline is not the pre-surgical situation, because the pre-surgical situation means that someone else, which means non-surgical therapy, has already been done. And if this non-surgical therapy is not done as I believe it should be done, there is the risk to have a lot of gingival recession even before the surgical procedure. And so the aesthetic outcome is already lost. Because what we can manage now is, in a very predictable way, is to maintain the soft tissue in the same way, in the same position, with the same aspect that we find. This is called papilla preservation approach, you know. This is soft tissue preservation approach. And so we are quite good in this. But we are not able, at the moment, in a predictable way, to improve the situation of the soft tissue with respect to what we find during the surgical procedure for periodontal regeneration. So we don't have to make the soft tissue get worsened during the non-surgical phase. Otherwise, we are not able to improve that during the surgical procedure, but only to save them in the same situation we find. So we don't have to lose soft tissue during the non-surgical phase in order to get to the surgical procedure to a good situation of the soft tissue and to maintain them during the surgical procedure. So at the end of the story, the aesthetics is almost the same of what we have found at the time of the first visit. So that's why the first thing I would like you are concentrated at the time of the first visit when you find a vertically bony defect. And how do you find a vertically bony defect? You make a general probing in all the patient mouth, and once there is some area in which there is a very, very deep probing, you immediately have to probe the adjacent surface in order to see if there is a big difference in the probing pocket depth between the very, very deep probing pocket depth and the adjacent surface. Because once there is such a big difference, it means that there is a very, very difference in the bone level. And so you immediately will make X-rays of this area in order to confirm that there is a vertically bony defect. And if there is a vertically bony defect, you have to make your selection. Selection means I will select periodontal regenerative approach, or I will decide for tooth extraction as soon as possible. So the bone healing, the soft tissue healing will be not bad to replace this tooth in a very good, functional and aesthetic way.